Hello everybody, welcome to another Zabbix video. This time we are talking about how to detect if user account on the Windows computer becomes local administrator. In this video we will use native Zabbix agent. Do not create any user parameters or external scripts because it's absolutely capable to be implemented out from the box, because Zabbix agent supports to query wmi registry, and we can use this very item key to ask what kind of members are belong to this user group, and then by doing some JSONPath and JavaScript preprocessing, we can really extract the usernames, and inside the outcome there will be if somebody assigns a new user, then Zabbix will fire up a trigger and tell exactly what is the username on the Windows workstation or a Windows server, which now is which become just like a local administrator. Let's have a look. We will start with the template, and my template is assigned to one host already. It's a domain controller for the purpose of the testing, and it's having no items, no triggers right now. Let's create an item. Click. This will be Zabbix item. It will report text, and this time it will be kind of like a master item which needs to have historical data. So this solution will kind of cost a little bit of database space, maybe no more than log file monitoring, but log file monitoring in Zabbix is if you stream the raw log to the Zabbix database, then in long run it can cost something, and if this template will be applied to hundreds of workstations, then it will grow the size of the database. Okay, the native item key is this wmi.getall. Let's use it here, paste, and for the sake of demonstration I will use scheduling 6 seconds, save it as a text. Okay, add, and since this template is already applied to one host, I will start to receive data very soon. While it's warming up, let's create dependent item, and then I will explain what's inside the original item. But for the dependent item, we will immediately ask what kind of users belong to the local administrators group. There are more groups than that, also power users, but this time we are working with the local administrators. So I will call it local administrators. It will be item name and key as well. This will also be text, and actually this is the most important part, which must be saved to the database. Okay, store, this is text, and now preprocessing. Inside the preprocessing we need to have at first JSONPath. Let's copy over here, JSONPath, click, and here now the JavaScript, click, and let's collect the JavaScript. And so the JSON path is extracting local administrators, and this JSON path it's having a lot of long lines, and we need to kind of unpack and extract the very username, the username only. Apply. Let's save this for a second. Add. And I will open in another tab the hosts object to prove what's going on. Let's filter out group, and this is the master user, master item. If we click here and open latest data, then this is the raw data, my domain controller is receiving this JSON. I will do triple click here to do the simulation, go back to that template and simulate how this finds out those local administrators there is a button, test all steps, click, paste, and now apply and test. And we see in the first position, like it will shrink, the JSON shrinks like a lot, and it finds out that domain admins are local as a part in the like belong to the administrators group, enterprise admins, and then some user named hello. And this JSON consists with two parts, which is one is called part component and the other is called group component. And what the JavaScript preprocessing is doing, it's formatting only like the pure meat, like what's the most useful stuff, what kind of objects are really belongs to the local administrators group. And here can be like a username, this is a username, and but this is group. So different. That's the reason why I'm not calling user or group, because it can be both categories. Okay, and so these lines will be saved in the database, and we will need to like save a snapshot of like every 1 minute or every 5 minutes, based on how fast you want to detect the anomaly. And the solution I'm creating right now is it will really count how many times new object appears in this content. For example, in the very moment when the object hello is discovered, it will start to look back on the historical data and look on the last value, and it will find hello, look on the second last value, and there is nothing. And that will trigger to generate a problem, and you can receive an email about that, because the hello was found only like 3 times. Let's continue. So the simulation works fine. Update. I will actually name this other item as well for faster searching. Update. Now the low-level discovery rule. First of all, like we are creating this object inside the outcome, and I will copy this to the clipboard and now click on this dependent item, and there is a button create dependent discovery rule, and let's call it like detect admins, detect admins, and inside the LLD macro section we will introduce a mapping, this like that, and here $sign dot, and it will be called hashtag object. So mapping between that JavaScript is producing an object in the outcome, and now we are introducing low-level discovery macro. Add. Let's create the first item prototype. Click item prototypes, create, and the first one will be quite dummy, and actually there will be a lot of dummy items, and this will be called like just object. So the actual calculated item will produce the username inside as a value immediately. Let's set this to calculate every 12 seconds. And here we will call object name, and hashtag object, square brackets close, and name of object. Object, like something like that, object, and then here this will be the username. Okay, that is for the calculated item. So this is required because I want inside the email receive like very direct message which user actually got assigned, and I need like a dummy item who will capture that indication, and this will be the one. And I can afford here to put discard unchanged with heartbeat 1 day, like not produce too many stuff in the database. It will be fine because I need to read just one last value from here. But historical data here is mandatory. Add. Okay, one calculated item and the second calculated item. Clone. I will call it like X, which would mean like how many times the new object appeared in the JSON. Let's go back to that latest data page to indicate what we are talking about. DC, click and enter. So this is the master item, a lot of data. It's not mandatory anymore to store the historical data. Let's turn it down at the template level here, update. But the other one, like this, is streaming. Let's close this guy. So the other one is streaming the users all the time here. Every 6 seconds, it's streaming the like what's the situation. And inside the trigger, we will count how many times the user object appears here. Let's so X is for count in my situation. Let's call it here as well. Now different formula. Let's use the cheat sheet. Cheat sheet is like this. And so we are using count function, and we need to have a reference item, and reference item is this item, which is called this is the name, but item key is, let's go to somewhere, let's use here templates. So this is templates tab, click. The item key, we want to aggregate, kind of like look back and see how many times it appears, and this is the reference point. Okay, and count, this is the input. 2 times forward slash means like reach out the current host object. If we apply this template to multiple workstations or domain controllers, like it is like a regular expression type of thing. And now, so here is double quotes, and inside the double quotes we escape another double quote. The escaping is required because we want to detect like this. When we detect the username, hopefully the username does not contain the double quotes itself. That would be disaster. But what we will target inside the count function is full pattern, not only the keyword, this one, but full pattern, including the double quotes. That's the reason why escaping happens over here. Okay, and 12 seconds also it will detect and produce integer inside the outcome. So count produces an integer number. Add. Okay. Now there are 2 items which will run in parallel, and whenever new LLD cycle executes, and if it detects new user, it will generate these 2 items, and we cannot really influence so directly when exactly these items will start to collect the data. We cannot know if this one will firstly execute or if that one will execute. It will get important because the trigger mainly will be based on how many times the new user object appears inside the historical data. So that's the primary formula, but we want to also show in the email what is the user object. We want to reference this guy, and if this is not yet made, like if it's not generated the value, that's a disaster. So what I will do is like here the update interval is 12 seconds and both execute at the same time, and we can change it to 1 minute, but the trigger logic will always wait till this guy shows at least 2 values. If it holds already at least 2 values, it's a definite indication that also this will have at least 1 value, and when we expand the trigger, we can highlight inside the trigger title what's the username. Okay, now trigger prototypes, great. Add, let's add the prototype, and what we want to do is object, and we want to this is object. Let's set again. This is the primary x, like how many times, and I told like it has to be at least 2, so bigger than 1. So that's one condition. If there is a new user appears and it appears at least 2 times, it's considered as an anomaly, like somebody just assigned the user to the local administrators group. That's one condition. For the trigger to automatically go away, let's set like this same thing, but in the opposite direction. Like if it's bigger than 30 something, then the problem will go away. Another condition I want to add is how to say, like context. How do we know like this is not a fresh system? And we want to add the other item, or even not this one here, the primary item which holds all the users every 6 seconds. And what we will do, we will blindly count the values in this item, and these values have to be like bigger than, like, let's say 50. This would mean like it's a protection to not receive false alarms. Add time, and here we can use count and count, let's say time in 1 hour. In the last 1 hour it has to appear 50 times. So like the purpose of this line is look on this data, and absolutely we have to have 50 lines inside the database to have like a context. How do we know it's a new user? And I have like sometimes decide like to restore the Zabbix database from backup without the historical data, and if we don't have this condition, when you restore like a Zabbix from a configuration backup, it will generate false alarms because there is no data anymore. But this is how we can protect ourselves. Okay, new user detected, or the new object, and this is the object. And inside the event name, we want to actually tell the username, and now we will have a reference to that other macro. Copy and paste. So let's a little bit go back and understand how it works. Here we have item prototypes, and one of the items is having item key name hashtag object. And now inside the trigger, I'm referencing to that thing. I want to kind of tell the username inside the title of the email which new user is now assigned to the local administrators group. Okay, everything is ready, I suppose. Add, and now we can visit the host object. I will actually add inside the item name, just to distinguish a little bit this situation, like this same keyword win32 inside item prototypes. I will put in the in the item name update, and yeah, that's everything. And to validate when the item is created, visiting the items and searching for the same thing, group user, apply, and the outcome is this. So the low-level discovery rule already started to count how many times administrator is there, how many times domain admins is there, and how many times enterprise admins is there, and hello. So it is every 12 seconds it counts how many times. If we visit the latest data page, we can see, and the answer is in the time frame of 1 hour, it is this many times, 156, and it's still growing. Okay, now what's happening when I will add a new user? And by the way, I turned off the historical data for the primary item. This one is not storing anymore. Like, the damage of this solution is this. Every 12 seconds, or I think in production we can execute this every 5 minutes, and if we do so, most likely we have to increase these numbers inside here. Like, can we have 50 values in 1 hour if the update frequency is 5 minutes? No, we cannot have. If 5 minutes is in 1 hour, like if update frequency is 5 minutes, then it's how many? 12 values. So this must be adjusted. These numbers, this is most important part, which must be modified to have the context. Let's see if the trigger goes into problem state, and domain controller here. I have a username called sensitive person. Here we see like sensitive, and if we add to administrators, now administrators, click apply. By the way, this is I tested, this also works in a workstation. Windows 10 was used, but I don't have it in hand. So new user is in the local administrators group, and this will soon show the sensitive person. Apply, and here you go, object sensitive. It already populated the name, and now the occurrences of sensitive is 2 times. Which is bigger than 1, and it should be already in the problem state. If we click here and go to the problems, click, and here you go. User sensitive arrived in local administrators group. How cool is that? Yes, it's absolutely cool. That is everything for this video. I will not put the template in the video description. I will put the primary WMI item key, and this is homework for you. If you find this video challenging, helpful, give it a thumbs up, and thanks for watching.